Oh, yes, yes, San Antonio global listeners, we're here. We're here live right here in the studio of KROV FM, and today we have a wonderful guest with us. His name is Milton Wallace. He's a native. Are you a native of San Antonio?
No.
Okay, he's not a native of San Antonio, but he's on a mission. Milton, we're going to get right down to this, okay? Share with us. You're on a mission. Tell us about this mission that is possible. Not impossible, but mission that's possible.
Well, good morning, radio listeners, and thanks, Elder James, for allowing us to come into the station this morning. Like James said, my name is Milton Harris. I represent an organization called the 100 Black Men of San Antonio. And what we are a local organization of mentors. Our motto is real men given real time. We're part of a national network of over 100 chapters, and we actually have 2 chapters nationwide. Now, our primary focus is to mentor youth of color, primarily African Americans.
Okay.
You know, I'm a retired Air Force guy, spent 20 years in the Air Force, and in the military we have this saying, we don't leave anyone on the battlefield.
Come on now.
And what we're seeing out here, especially with our young black men, is that as men, we haven't really stepped up. We're leaving too many of these young boys on the battlefield. And so one of the things that we're doing, we have a partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's a part of the City of San Antonio's My Brother's Keeper program. And we're actively recruiting mentors. Our motto is real men given real time. And we're looking for some brothers and mentors and men of color from around the city to partner with us to help mentor young people in this city. And so we have 4 programmatic areas that we work with that's all centered around mentoring. We have education, economic empowerment, health and wellness, and leadership development.
Okay.
And we go through each of those through our mentoring program. We have a signature online mentoring platform where all of our mentors can get trained, as well as the kids that we mentor, because training is a key part of that. And so that's the general focus of what I wanted to come in for this morning and talk to you and your listeners about. You know, we're actively mentoring right now in 4 areas around the city. We have an active mentor program out at Sam Houston High School. We mentor a group of about 15 young men there. We're in Davis Middle School, where we have a mentoring group in partnership with Top Ladies of Distinction. And that's called the A-Team, Ambassadors for the African American in the Evers Institute. And then we also mentor with the municipal court. We have a mentoring platform there where we work with youth that are involved in the truancy court.
Okay.
And all of this is designed to keep kids in school. You know, education is the focus. That's why that programmatic initiative, we start with education, teaching them the importance of getting that education, continue on being, then we go to health and wellness. And with there, we focus on physical, mental, and spiritual fitness, and the key components there. Many of our youth don't really know the benefits of focusing in on all of those. It's important to be physically fit. That helps your mental fitness. Mental fitness helps you be more spiritual minded. And then, of course, we have leadership development and economic empowerment. Economic empowerment is focused around financial literacy, building strong platforms, teaching the importance of hard work. Hard work then leads to being a good steward of the produce of that hard work, being able to be a good financial planner, a good financial steward, saving money, giving back to the community, all of those things. And then leadership development, helping to develop that next generation of leaders. Okay. And so that essentially that's the base of what we do. And again, we are definitely looking to recruit more men of color. We are a membership organization. But you don't have to be a member of the 100 Black Men of San Antonio in order to participate in our program.
Well, tell me. Let's break it down. When you participate, when you work with the young people, what areas do you cover in? Because you have some young people that have, they come out of a home that's not really together. Okay, you have the father may be this way, the mother may be this way, and the child is confused. And so how would you work with?
Yes, we do see that sometimes, especially in the black community, in the minority community period, and more in economically underserved communities. But one thing we do is we start off just by uplifting them. one of the things we do is we always go in and we remind them that they are men and women of excellence first. I don't care what anybody told you. If anyone told you that you're going to be worthless, that you're never going to amount to anything, it stops right here. It stops today, because you are a magnificent man and woman of excellence, and you're going to go on to do great things.
Okay. Now let me throw it at you this way. I remember when I was living in Dallas, Texas, and I would go around to different schools, high schools, and talk to the young people before they started class. Everybody would meet in the auditorium, and when I was about to leave the school, a young lady came up to me and said, "I like what you're saying, but I have a problem. My mama works 3 jobs. My daddy stays home all day and fuss, and then expects for my mother to cook, and I'm just not happy."
Yeah, we try and help explain to them that the situations that you are currently in don't necessarily define who you are.
Okay.
You are a greater being. You are a greater spirit. Right? We often say that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And oftentimes in this country and around the world, that human experience is not so pleasant.
Okay.
Right? Satan is constantly busy. And that is a hurdle that our young people face. They're angry, they're getting beat down at home, they're getting beat down in the streets of their communities, and then, you know, sometimes they come to school and that beat down verbally continues in some of our schools. So they have a struggle, you know, and of course our youth, they are sometimes a challenge. But what caused that challenge? What caused them to be so disrespectful in some respects? And so we try to get to the core of that. Number one, by bringing real men in those classrooms that can show them how to deal with conflicts, because they do challenge you. And so it's very important that they see a man standing there that once this child challenges them or even sometimes disrespect them, they can, you know, now they're dealing with brothers that can re-challenge that, make them refocus, and now they see how real men deal with real conflict. And it's not necessarily spilling anger with anger. That's not going to solve anything. You know, we always take them back to, you're better than that. You're better than that. And, you know, we're not going to respond to you in kind. We're going to force you to come to our level. We're not going to come to your level.
But is there a number that they can call you?
They can contact me directly, 210-473-1507.
Is there an email?
There's an email. They can contact us at the100, that's THE100 at 100 blackmenofsanantonio.org.
Okay.
And again, that's the100 at 100 blackmenofsanantonio.org. And then they always can contact me directly at my personal email, which is miltonharris.mhn@gmail.com. Again, miltonharris.mhn@gmail.com.
San Antonio, global listeners, we're talking to Mr. Milton Harris right here in San Antonio. He and his crew, if I can say that, they're on a mission right here. A mission about bringing about change in our society. But they're not only limited to San Antonio, but you're also limited out of San Antonio as well. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, what is your next move?
Our next move is one big platform that we have, and that I think is definitely going to take our mentoring to the next level in the city of San Antonio, and that's one of the reasons that I'm here today. We actually have a press conference on Tuesday afternoon at 1:30 over at Big Brothers Big Sisters headquarters off of Gulfdale. And that press conference is with the mayor of San Antonio, and we're going to be announcing the My Brother's Keeper partnership. And of course, we know with My Brother's Keeper, President Obama started that program several years ago, and San Antonio is one of the cities that signed on. Well, the four partners, which is Big Brothers Big Sisters of San Antonio, they're the lead agent for the grant. We received a $1.25 million grant over 3 years. And so it's Big Brothers Big Sisters as the lead. It's the 100 Black Men of San Antonio, Communities and Schools San Antonio, and an organization called Youth for Christ. We're all partnering together to recruit over the next 3 years a total of 375 men of color to come into the fold and help mentor youth of color throughout this city. So that's going to be the next step, and we're definitely looking for, you know, some great men around the city of San Antonio to come stand alongside us. All you have to do is devote an hour 2 hours twice a month.
Okay, and that's going to the schools
Well,
or to the homes.
you decide that once we give you a match, and actually I misspoke, it's 1 hour twice a month.
Okay.
So, minimum, we want you to dedicate 2 hours a month. And so you can go to the school. We actually are in place at Sam Houston High School every other Friday. So you can come out and join us there, and we'll match you up with one of the young men at the school or at Davis Middle School. That's a total of 25 young men right there that we can match individuals up with. And the young men are already there. Volunteers just come in twice a month. We already have the kids right there. But you have to go through a background check, some training, and we'll get people more on that as well.
Okay. Now, Mr. Harris, I'm going to put you on the spot. Can I put you on the spot?
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Okay. You have listeners right now all across the land that young people they talk back to their parents. Young people are confused. They haven't found themselves yet. I've known you for some time, and you've been through a lot, but you've made it through. I would like for you to share a few minutes to those that are listening on the air, to those that are watching by television, that don't get discouraged, but how they can make it.
That's a good question. Oftentimes a loaded question, because it's an individual process. It's one step at a time. We've often asked, how do you eat an elephant? We've always heard, one bite at a time. Discouragement is that same way. How do you get over the discouragement that is out there? There's so much evil in our community, and kids are dealing with so much. How do they get over that anger? How do they get over being hungry? And it's one day at a time. Keeping a positive attitude, knowing that they are men and women of excellence first. And no matter what their circumstances are, there's a saying in the Bible, this too shall change. And that is very, very, very true. That situation is not going to stay the same always, because it's constantly moving, it's constantly cycling. And sometimes we find ourselves, especially if we keep a positive attitude. And that's why when we go in, we're encouraging our mentees about how excellent they are. Oftentimes we go in, they may be failing classes, skipping school, and we work to change that around. We work with a young lady, her name is Miss Wells, out at Sam Houston High School. And she was almost in tears one day, because we started working with this group of kids this year in October, and she already see a major change. They give us these kids because these kids have been identified as not likely to succeed. Most of them are reading below their grade level, and the school is just not confident that they're going to graduate. Well, I can tell you, if these young men stay in our program, every single one of them will graduate or go to the military or something like that. That's a promise.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You're talking about mindset, changing the mindset. Back in the day, we used to talk about look up, over, and away. But when you deal with it personally, sometimes it's a little hard. But you got to keep in mind, I can make it. Like the little chain, choo choo, I can do it, I can do it, I can make it. San Antonio global listeners, we're talking to Mr. Milton Harris right here in San Antonio on a mission about bringing a change with your children. If you have a problem child, if you have a child that just needs a little help, the number to call is
210-473-1507. And it's not just problem children.
Okay.
We work with all children. We realize that it takes a village. A lot of our kids, they have great families. Mom and dad's at home. They're doing well in school. But it's always great to have that added support, that added villager out there that can impart something in that young person's life that the parent may not have imparted yet. Right? A lot of our kids, even some of our kids that are from great families, mom and dad is at home, financially secure, but when they graduate high school, they can't balance a checkbook. Right? And so these are just little simple things that we can work with young people about to make sure that when they walk out that door and they go to those college campuses or whatever they're going to do in life, go out and start a business, be entrepreneurs, that they're prepared for it. The more villagers that you have out there imparting, the more likely that young person is to succeed.
Once again, San Antonio, if you're out of town, those of you that are out of town, if you're around town, well, you can call a number that's in town, and the number to call is
210-473-1507.
And before you go, sir, would you like to make a shout out to anybody?
Oh, as always, I want to make a shout out to the outstanding men that and women that support us throughout the San Antonio area. Shout out to the top ladies of distinction, my lovely wife, Rhonda Harris. They are great supporters, and just all your listeners, man. I appreciate them taking the time this morning to listen to us and share some information about the 100 Black Men of San Antonio.
And continue right now. Much more gospel music.
God has put together, gonna let no man put asunder. Love like this will stand the storm, come wind, rain or thunder. A love like this, oh, it will never, no, never pass away.
Lord, I could never repay for this love that we've come to know.
Brenda, I know just what you mean. Seems like the Lord has blessed us with a love that would make even Cupid wanna hang up his bow. Hey, yeah. Woo. Oh, for better. Everybody help me sing.
A love like this still does exist, and we thank the Lord for blessing us with it. A love like this still does exist, and we thank the Lord for blessing us
Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Whoa, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. You woke me up this morning. You started me on my